Okay guys, it is the next day. I've just got in for a buy on AU. I've seen everything that I wanted to see. This whole green box area is a point of interest for me. It has just hit a 2-hour open, and we did get this nice impulse up, creating more targets and even a nice area of interest down below. So I've just gone in on a buy. I was checking the DXY, and it's like the polar opposite of what I wanted to see. So that was good. So I'm seeing AU getting strong. I'm seeing the DXY getting weak. I'm seeing the Australian dollar getting strong. Pretty much the exact same pattern as what I see on AU. So when I traded those two pairs together, it just made sense to go in for this buy. Whether it works out or not, we'll see. But hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We just move on and go into the next trade. But yeah, I'm in a buy on AU at the moment. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay guys, AUD USD lost, which is fine. It did everything I wanted to do in that area. It just didn't work out. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. There could be a possible re-entry on this, maybe, but I want to see more proof now. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. You can't cry about it. It is what it is. We just have to move on. Obviously, let's have a look at the DXY. When the DXY is selling off, it still is, so that makes sense for the AD to get stronger. And the AUD Australian dollar futures is reacting nicely in the logical area. So I just put the 2 and 2 together, saw a pattern I liked, played the trade, and it didn't work out. Simple as that. I mean, this could be another re-entry. I mean, if you have a look, right? We got the liquidation of the lows, definitely liquidation of the lows now, so let's just get rid of that. I should not keep it for my journal, right? But then if you have a look at the divergence, it's still rocketing up, right? So even if I go to the 4-hour time frame, we still have some sort of divergence happening. So I know something's going to happen, but where's this going to reverse? I don't know. So we're just going to wait and find out. CAD yen is just running away. So I'm hoping it still comes back to my point of interest. CAD Chef is basically taking out my targets, so I've deleted the pending on this because the likelihood of it coming back to come back down again, it's just not going to happen. So at the moment I'm just sitting on my hands waiting to see what is happening, and that's all I can do really. I'm still I know 0.8% up on the challenge. I'm still positive on the challenge, which is good, but yeah, it's just frustrating. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens, isn't it? Okay guys, update on AU. So there was another entry on London Open. He said as London Open would liquidate the lows, what I was getting into. So in hindsight, you should have waited for that anyway. But I'm still not going to look to get into this. What I'm going to wait for is a nice explosion of price. Because I don't have to catch a reversal. I can just wait till, like, if price goes up, then I know the strength's involved. Like, and if it gives me higher time frame targets, then I'll just wait for the retracement on the higher time frames. I don't have to catch lower time frame reversal. Yes, it's good, obviously, because you get a better reward to risk, a lot faster, blah blah blah. But again, as I've just proven, it is higher risk. So at the same time, you kind of want to play it safe. I don't want to catch bottoms, I don't want to catch tops. I want to catch the order flow in between on the higher time frames, really. That's kind of my thing, that's my niche, that's my most success rate, is the higher time frame order flow between a really nice discounted higher time frame logical point of interest, or a really nice premium higher time frame logical point of interest, and then ride the order flow between the two. That's kind of my thing, right? So catching AU at the bottom, not bothered. I'm going to wait for something big to happen on maybe the 4-hour time frame, and then look to see where that takes me. Because at the moment, that's where I'm looking at AUD NZD for a short, right? It's only 7.7 pips away from entering, but let me just show you what I mean, right? And it still hasn't taken, right, Friday lows. It still hasn't taken Friday lows, which is why this is kind of more interesting for me, right? This is very interesting. So if I do the, right, okay. So this yellow bar is obviously, this is the previous week, this is the new week. So that's Friday, weekend, Monday. It still hasn't taken these lows, it's left it. It's taken Friday highs, right? But hasn't taken a low. So I'm like, okay, this is more incentive to go to the downside. And you see price is working up, right? Boom, boom. So there are two impulses. I'm expecting one more impulse to the upside, which will then trigger me in on the 8-hour time frame, right? Then look at the divergence, it's coming down. So this is good, this is good news for me. So at the moment, on the 8-hour time frame, this is a 1 to 4. Let me turn off this so it's easier to see and it's not as hard for you guys to see, right? So this is where I'm looking to get in. It's giving me higher time frame targets. So if I see a nice lower time frame distribution in this area, I could get another entry in on this chart, right? I could look for a possible smaller time frame entry for the same TP, or I could just see what happens here, watch it break down, and if price retraces a bit, look for another higher time frame order flow entry, and then take it down. So I might turn this 1 to 4 into a 1 to 7 or a 1 to 6. Right, just by adding maybe another 1 to 2 trade or 1 to 3 trade on the order flow on the way down. But yeah, so it hasn't been great, has it, the last 2 weeks? But we're learning and we're getting there. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, so I've been triggered into AUD NZD now. So now I just need to wait to see what happens. Hopefully we get a reversal during New York Open. But so far, so good. We have created equal highs. I'll zoom in there. Created equal highs, it has taken them. Divergence is still coming down. So we've had 3 main pushes. And then, as you can see, 3 main pushes downside. So this is looking good. What I really want to see is now it's done that. Oh, hang on. Now it's done that. I kind of want it to do this. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see it take the highs like it has, come down, break this low, show me that there's now sellers in control. But when it breaks that low, I want it to make more targets, and then I want to see what's left up here for a possible re-entry, and then come down, break more lows, make more targets, see what's been left behind, and then see if I can get another entry. I could just trade this now. AU is actually coming down, so that's quite interesting. So obviously my bias from the start of AU being weaker does seem to make more sense, so I'm just going to concentrate on AUD NZD and see what happens, because I am expecting possible strength gains in New Zealand dollar coming up to tomorrow, because obviously they got high impact news tonight at 8 PM, and all day tomorrow is high impact NZD news. So if I go to the NZD futures, you can see it's sort of consolidating in a point of interest for me to possibly look for some strength gains. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, that's probably going to be all my focus now, is just waiting to see what happens at AUD NZD. So now I just got to sit on my hands, see what happens next. I still have pendants on CAD Yen and CAD Chef, but they're like 80 odd pips away, 90 odd pips away, and they probably won't even get to their points of interest tomorrow, maybe Thursday, depending. So that's not really a thing for me to concentrate on right now. It's just AUD NZD. Anyway guys, keep you guys updated, and hopefully you get a win. Right guys, it is 10 to 1 GMT. The only problem is with AUD pairs, as I said in the past, and especially NZD pairs, is that they move very slow. So this move probably isn't going to happen tonight. I mean, it probably will happen tonight, so it's not going to happen today, because that side of the world's like shutting down, going to sleep, blah 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 blah, other side of the world type of thing, so their banks are shutting. So yeah, I'm not expecting a lot of movement today. I mean, it does look good. It does look good. It can move a lot. It can, but it kind of needs news to do that. And as NZD news isn't coming out till 10 o'clock tonight, that's when I'm expecting a lot of the volatility to come into the market. And yeah, so it looks like it's shaping up to play out like that. But yeah, let me just show you what I'm seeing at the moment. Right, so as I said, it's taking a high. So there is some 1 hour imbalance up here, that it might want to fill. So let me just highlight that for you. In this area, so that is an area of imbalance that price could push up, fill it, and then start to come down, mitigate out their orders higher up, get a better price, etc, etc. But yeah, but if it breaks this low, this swing low here, if it breaks that, then I'm going to be looking for a possible re-entry, and then whatever breaks that low, look for a possible re-entry in that as well. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And obviously CAD Yen is coming up to my point of interest. I mean, CAD Yen is 72 pips away. CAD Swiss is 63 pips away. So, but what I do like about CAD Swiss is the fact that it made more targets. Like, it could have easily, right? Let me just zoom out a little bit. It could have easily have broken these, right? It could have just come down and went bang, but it didn't. It added to this, what people call this as a strong level of support, right? So if it keeps these, I am going to stay in the trade. Not in the trade, I'm not in the trade at the moment, but I'm going to stay interested in the short position, right? Because I do feel like there's a lot of imbalance, a lot of targets down here that hasn't hit. I feel like price does want to come lower. I am selling from a premium zone, so it would make a lot of sense, right? So that is what I'm wanting to achieve. And the same with, obviously, CAD Yen. I mean, there's a lot of imbalance down here, a lot of manipulation that hasn't been filled, a lot of orders that haven't been mitigated yet, and it's just a nice order flow trade. But again, it's an Asian pair, it just takes forever to move. So the setups that I have now are good in my head, right? I was wrong on AU, probably should have waited for better confirmations, i.e. some sort of a good sign of strength. Like what I was witnessing, what I see now, is it was a short-term nice sign of strength, which made sense, right? The DXY was retracing, the Aussie pair was gaining strength, but it's only for a small amount of time, and obviously that's where you can get stuck, and I get stuck, right? It makes a lot of sense, it's fine. I learned from it, I moved on. But now, with these setups on CAD Yen, CAD Swiss, and AUD NZD, they are good setups, high time frame setups, in good points of interest, showing me things that I want to see. But they just take time to move. So the question is, will it move enough in time for me to pass this challenge? Because if I can get some nice order flow trades on AN down to my targets, that could be good enough to pass alone, right? Because you get multiple entries. It's just a beautiful, beautiful trade. Will I get that? I don't know. And it's the 23rd of November now, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days left. So next Wednesday, oh god, sorry, hiccups. Next Wednesday is the last trading day I have for this challenge. So now the question is, if this one plays out well, play it safe, don't get in any trades, finish in profit, get a free retake. That's the sort of level of where I'm at now, is how do I play this the safest way possible, if that makes sense. But yeah, so AUD, NZD looks good, but it's gonna take some time. On that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed the series so far. I hope you're learning a lot, especially from my mistakes. I hope you're learning from my mistakes. I hope you're writing notes down about this stuff. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully tomorrow we have some better news. We're going to see a lot of reaction in tonight, so we'll see the carnage caused over the night with NZD news, and hopefully AUD NZD plays off well, but we'll see. Anyway guys, I'll see you then. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.